Baltimore at Miami. Should be an interesting one. Baltimore laying 8 points on the road, which is pretty crazy, but of course deserved now that Lamar's back to kind of have a clean bill of health now. Get into that with Hitman. He also released something that we'll talk about just before the show around 11:37. So, yeah, we'll talk about that when he comes on. Austin's going to be on as well. And then finally, of course, we'll close things out with Austin and, yeah, talk college football, then get into edge work. We got a great show for you today. So, yeah, really excited to get into things. Feeling good after last night, Jacob. Feeling pretty good.
Very good. Very good. Obviously, incredible stuff from the Blue Jays. It feels surreal to be in this position.
All right, yeah. Like I mean, up 3-2. The back-to-back homer, like first pitch homer, David Schneider. The best is I saw people on Twitter being like, why is he batting leadoff? What are we doing here? What's going on? And like first pitch homer, I love it. Love to see. Did a good job.
I mean, yeah. This is we've had some of the craziest moments of the World Series, like back-to-back home runs to start a game, an 18 inning game. It's
Trey Estevez as well, just
insanity.
absolutely like crushing things.
Oh my God, yeah, his first ever away start in the playoffs, and
Yeah.
he produces one of the best World Series starts ever. Like just so much incredible, and so much incredible things have happened this series, and the Jays just got to get it done now.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love it. It's good stuff, good to watch. Sorry to all my friends who have Halloween parties on Friday because those are all getting canceled.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Got my spot. Got my reservation at the bar that I frequent, and yeah, looking forward to it. Curious to hear Chat's thoughts on this. Maybe I shouldn't air this out publicly, but I have a friend who's went away to a bachelor party this weekend. They left this morning. They're supposed to spend the entire weekend there. They moved their flight to Friday, so they're only going for one day because they didn't want to be out of the city in case the Jays won.
Smart.
The World Series.
I have a
Bad friend, good friend. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's smart. I have a friend who is going to Japan today and is missing Game 6 and 7.
Does he need an Ohtani jersey?
He's already gone, but maybe he would have taken it.
Oh, man. Crazy stuff. Just curious to see how the city will look if we do end up winning. We're good on YouTube now?
I think so, yeah. So the original link just for some reason didn't go there, so it set up a completely new one. We're doing new software, and there was an issue with the software, but I think we're up and running on YouTube now. Beautiful.
Then that means chat. Say hello. Smash the like button. Do all those good things there. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button as well. If you're on Twitter, come hang out on YouTube. You're going to have a better time interacting with us there, I think. You'll be able to message in the chat, talk things through, all that kind of jazz. Anyways, let's dive into things here. We got Anthony coming on. Going to talk some NFL stuff. He's a podcaster and a writer. Talks all things football over at The Ringer. Anthony, how's it going, my friend?
I'm doing well. Doing better than the Dodgers are this morning, that's for sure. It's so funny that, I think Game 3 happened. Everybody's like, oh, no way the Jays can come back from that loss. And then they won the next two games. Similar, really, to 2018 when the Dodgers, won Game 3 in miraculous fashion against the Red Sox and then proceeded to lose the next two games anyway.
Yeah, no, it's it's just I just love everything about it. Did you cancel your Friday? Did you have previous Friday plans that you ended up canceling to watch the Jays, or are you sticking things through there?
I have Saturday plans, which may or may not be needed. Friday night, we got the NBA Cup opener.
Okay. And
living in Philly, there's some real buzz about the Sixers again for the first time in a few years. So Sixers Celtics. I might try to find my way down to the Xfinity Mobile Arena, they're calling it now.
Wow.
Because the Sixers are in action. But, VJ Edgecombe might be the hottest ticket in the country right now, besides, of course, the World Series.
Of course, yeah. Should be a lot of fun there. Hopefully you'll be able to enjoy it. I expect to see you in the stands dressed up with your best costume. Anyways.
I still need a costume. You have any ideas?
Honestly, not really. Just find a onesie. That's usually a good one. Or I don't know. There's a couple good ones. Nothing coming out.
Put your ideas in the chat.
Yeah, put your ideas in the chat. We'll see what they say towards the end of the show. Let's dive into things though, because there's a lot I want to talk about in the NFL. Let's start with the Falcons and the Patriots. Kind of two teams that feel like they're trending in different directions. Falcons are looking to get right this week after Penix and London were hurt. Two kind of I like to think that London is the engine of their team, as good as Bijan Robinson is. He really lets them open things up, and is a great receiver, can attack downfield really well. But on the other side of things, Drake May is like playing at an absolute like MVP caliber level. This offense is humming. They look really good. Line right now is at 5.5. Totals at 44.5. Is 5.5 too generous for the Patriots? Is it too low for the Patriots? Is it about right? What are you feeling? What's your temperature level on this game?
Yeah, my biggest problem with all of the Patriots numbers, and I know that Drake May has been great to this point, and I'm not trying to like poo-poo the deep ball numbers because they are impressive. But like, who's the best defense he's played?
I don't know. But
it's like a list of the worst defenses. They played
Bills?
the Raiders, the Dolphins, the Steelers, the Panthers, the Bills, and I know we don't think too much of their defense.
Yeah.
And then the Saints, the Titans, and the Browns. So I guess the Browns.
Yeah.
Because like they're metrically graded high, but they're also, it was a road game, and really a lot of the scoring came in the second half when Gabriel was just donating points to New England. So that's my thing, right? So Atlanta, and the reason I think I took some under here at 45 and 44.5, 45 somewhat key, not all that key, but the Falcons are number 2 in the league and not giving up explosive plays. They're number 3 in the league in explosive play rate allowed on deep passes. So they're just much better at forcing everything underneath, forcing teams to be methodical. And we really haven't seen teams who can execute that strategy try it on New England, because we know the Patriots can't run the ball. So I think that's really the crux of this handicap, is how much do you trust this Falcon defense, which had a down game last week, which does have some injuries, to limit explosive plays? Because if you think they can kind of put a lid on the Patriots offense, then this game gets played in like the low 20s, and you would certainly lean toward Atlanta.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense there. Interesting enough, like Drake May, that's kind of what he's been living off of in these past couple games. Been excellent at it, but like he's been really connecting on that deep ball. Going to be watching for that matchup there, how the Falcons are able to limit that in Drake May. And like this is a true test for Drake May, because if we can see him pass it, then like we know for sure that he's legit. Let's move on to Colts and Steelers. Steelers plus three at home. Totals at 50.5. Feels like every single week we've seen the market kind of, every single week since like week 3, maybe week 2, we've seen the market kind of come up on the Colts, and they keep getting higher and higher in terms of market rating. Am I crazy for thinking that we're not high enough yet on this Colts team? Like, it feels like they should be through 3 at this point. This offense just looks incredible. They're able to limit a lot on defense. Like, am I crazy for thinking that we're not high enough on the Colts, and we're either too low on the Colts or we're too high on the Steelers in this game? Break it down for us here.
I agree. Look, you can pull up, and Ben Baldwin tweets out this graphic every week, the InPredict kind of like market ratings on every NFL team. But if you go on their site, you can actually kind of, and I like to use this as a proxy to kind of compare my numbers to where the market is on a certain team. Where do you think InPredict rates the Steelers defense this year based on the market and the price in this game?
Steelers probably, I think the Colts are like ranked as like a top 6 team. So like maybe Steelers are like mid-pack, like 14th, 13th-ish.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's 17th, but 17th on defense too. Like, yeah. I don't agree. Okay. I still think the market is way short on Pittsburgh's defense being just bad. I tweeted the stat yesterday. By points per drive, Mike Tomlin's been coaching the Steelers for 19 years. This is the worst defense he's ever had through 8 games, through 7 weeks, or 8 weeks, and it's the worst defense he's ever had if you extrapolate it out for a full season as well. And so when I look at this team, in this matchup especially, like every offense that has a pulse has scored 30 just about on this defense. I mean, you can go back to last year, the Chiefs. Remember last year, Christmas, when the Chiefs went up and down the field and we're like, the Chiefs are back. They fixed their offense. Well, no, they just played the Steelers, as it turned out, because their offense wasn't great in the playoffs. So I look at this Pittsburgh defense. The last 2 years they've played Steichen. Steichen does a really good job of using the middle of the field, putting linebackers in conflict. And that's where the Steelers have really struggled, I think. Like you saw last week, Tucker Kraft had a generational performance. The Steelers 2 years ago went to Indy. They gave up 30 points to Gardner Minshew. They went to Indy again last year. They gave up 27 points to Anthony Richardson and Joe Flacco. The Colts offense is humming at a different level right now. I know it's square to just lay Indy. I think like a lot of people are like, the Colts good, Steelers kind of bad, lay 3. But I agree. Like I don't see a lot of regression indicators for this Colts offense right now. Like, do I think they'll be the best offense in the NFL of the last 25 years the rest of the year? Probably not. But they don't even have to be that to lay 3 here. Like I laid 3 with Green Bay last week. I think that this Pittsburgh team remains a pretty fraudulent unit overall. And if they get in catch-up mode, if they're playing from behind, this offense still isn't very explosive. Mm-hmm. The Colts, they'll make you move the ball methodically. And Pittsburgh will move it. Like the totals jumped 2 points. But I just don't think that this Pittsburgh defense is any good at all.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I love that match angle you have where you mentioned Kraft last week. We could see like a big boom game from Tyler Warren here against these Steelers linebackers, maybe something to look at in the prop market. Let's flip over, talk Vikings, Lions. I think this is one of the more interesting games to talk about. Lions, 8.5 point favorites at home, 48.5 total. Coming off a bye week where they had a cluster injury at cornerback. Seems like they're going to be in a clean bill of health, which kind of sucks for the Vikings here because they're getting J.J. McCarthy back. They're getting probably Christian Darrisaw to play, and it looks like he's going to be full go. O'Neal's back as well. Offensive line is healthy. We finally get to see J.J. McCarthy. We finally get to see it, but now they're playing like one of the best teams in the league in the Lions. So he's going to have to show his stuff to us. What do you make of this game here? Do you think 8.5 is the right number? Do you think the total is maybe a little bit too low here? What's your opinion?
Yeah, I laid Detroit on Monday morning. Look, J.J. McCarthy's only played like 65 NFL snaps. I was looking at rbsdm.com, which is a good site for EPA per play and quarterback play and stuff like that. And I crafted what I call the list of the unbettables or the unplayables. And it's just like a list of the worst quarterbacks that have basically stepped on an NFL field in this last 5-year stretch. And some of the names are like kind of funny. Like Tommy DeVito shows up. The famous Dorian Thompson-Robinson games pop up. John Wolford, remember him?
Yeah.
I think he just got signed. He's in the mix. Just something. Trace McSorley, Mike Glennon, Skylar Thompson, Brett Rippon, Cam Ward shows up, which isn't great for him. PJ Walker, and then right there next to them, minimum 65 plays, is JJ McCarthy. So yes, it was 2 games, but it was also a game like they played the Bears, and the Bears defense, they couldn't move the ball for 3 quarters against the Bears defense. That was a pretty big red flag. The sacks, the fumbles, like he doesn't look to me like he doesn't pass the eye test either. And then there's the whole business of Kevin O'Connell. Like we think Kevin O'Connell's a pretty smart guy. And we saw him kind of like lie and deceive his way through this whole McCarthy injury situation, left Carson Wentz out there to kind of die in a football game. And then the minute that Wentz can no longer go, all of a sudden McCarthy's healthy again. It might be true. It's also pretty convenient. So I'm pretty skeptical of what O'Connell thinks of McCarthy. And I'm also, happy to bet Detroit. I mean, maybe we spend hours a week going through these matchups and we look into the certain things. It's like, oh yeah, Detroit's home off a bye and Dan Campbell covers 70% of the time. I'm never going to feel bad on betting him. Like I tried to be like the sharp guy who's like, oh, the lines of the market's a little too high on Detroit. And then they win by 12 or 14. And I'm like, why did I do that? So Minnesota can't stop the run this year. And if they fall behind, yeah, McCarthy maybe could throw it up to Jefferson, but that's about it for this offense. So yeah, I think it's Lions.
Yeah, going to be a real struggle for this Lions team. Also, a previous guest on our show yesterday, George, mentioned Jared Goff's been incredible against the blitz this year. So, again, just all the matchup angles defensively for the Vikings just seem to be going the wrong way. I also like what you said about Kevin O'Connell because I feel like we gave him so much credit after last year, but it seems like we gave him too much credit now, like too much of the appealing to authority where people were down on Sam Darnold. They trusted his process in quarterback evaluation, and it seems like, hey, maybe it was a long-term better move, but Sam Darnold was maybe a mistake to let him walk. Anyways, we'll see how J.J. McCarthy looks for the rest of the season. Let's move on to Chiefs-Bills. Marquee game. Love it whenever the Chiefs play the Bills. Bills are at home. 1.5, 2-ish points. Dogs right now, 52.5 total. Relatively pretty high related to the best of the board. Feels like there's a lot of high totals this week. Maybe I'm
insane. I just wrote that in my column. I mean, there's a lot of bad defenses right now.
Yeah, okay. That's probably what it is here. But yeah, Chiefs market rated best team right now. Going to be an exciting game. Nothing really here from me. Just curious what your thoughts are on this marquee game.
Yeah, I mean, in order to actually bet Kansas City, you'd need to make them like 3.5 almost better than the Bills on a neutral, which, I mean, you could make that claim and you could bet the Chiefs here. You could lay minus 132 or whatever it is on the money line and just say, you know what? It might not be plus EV by my numbers, but you know what? I get Pat Mahomes in a football game at minus 132 to win it, and his offense is looking much better than it was. I go back to, just the matchup that has really defined this, and it's not Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, but it's Patrick Mahomes and Sean McDermott / Bobby Babbage / the various other defensive coordinators that have tried and failed to stop Mahomes. And it's just, they haven't had the right game plan that's been effective really at any point in this matchup. And so now we've got a Chiefs offense that's executing at a higher level, and really a Buffalo defense. No Ed Oliver. They're getting some pieces back, but I feel like this group of Buffalo defensive players, the Benford types, the Bernard types, the Milano types, they've all had so many injuries and been so in and out and so inconsistent and so like, oh, they have a good month, but then they all get hurt, that now I just don't really know how good they are as players anymore. And so I think that's something that has to be considered with Buffalo. It's not just a matter of, okay, side A, they're all in, side B, they're all out, and we have like this different rating on what Buffalo's defense is. I mean, Buffalo's defense this year, quite frankly, has been bad. And so that's my concern here. I think Kansas City has edges on both sides of the ball, but am I like dying to lay minus 130 against Josh Allen on the road where they lose like one, or at home where they lose a game every other year? Not really. So I lean Chiefs here just on Mahomes factor, but I'm not like dying to bet this game.
Yeah, regardless, this is a game that everyone's going to be watching. Middle screen, as I like to call it, for the 4 o'clock.
Have you seen the other 4 o'clock games?
No, I haven't. Wait, why? What are they?
You're not going to be watching those at all.
Okay. All right.
It's Saints Rams. I guess if you're a mother shucker, if you're a shuckhead, I'm going to watch him. And then the other 4 o'clock game is Jags Raiders.
Oh, wow. Yeah, honestly, kudos to the schedule makers. I feel like they did a really good job this year, blessing us with good 4 o'clock windows or good 4 o'clock games, while the other two are just absolute abhorrent and unwatchable. So yeah, also not a shuckhead at all. I think that guy's gonna be terrible. We'll talk about that at a later date. We'll see how he plays this week. Are you a shuckhead?
I am not a shuckhead.
Okay,
I'm not. I took Saints team total under. It moved a point, but 14.5 was out there, and I just sat there because I had the screen up when they announced Shuck as the starter, and I just watched it just light up Rams money and under, and just kept hitting the board, and I'm like, ooh, that's not a great look.
Yeah,
but you never know. I mean, we could all be wrong.
Yeah,
could he be Rattler?
I don't know. Rattler's not very good, but like I've talked to some people who like love college football and like are just general college football enjoyers. They don't think that he would be a good college football quarterback right now. So what does that say about him in the NFL?
Tough. Not many good college quarterbacks either. So.
Fair, yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the Thursday night football game to close things out here. Ravens at Dolphins. Ravens 8-point favorites. Totals at 51.5. Another high total game here. Finally, the Ravens get healthy. Now it's time for them to just absolutely run the table. That's their goal. They need to make the playoffs, of course. Interestingly, though, Dolphins did pretty good job shutting down the Falcons' run game last week. So I'm curious to see the matchup between the Dolphins, which, I mean, this season has been abhorrent, their run stopping ability, but they were able to do it last week. Could have been game state as well. Fun Thursday night football game here in Miami. Give me a breakdown of this game. Who do you like here and why?
Yeah, I mean, the over took money, and I do agree with it. I kind of think Miami can keep this within a score. I mean, the thing is, we're all just pricing the Ravens like they're back, and this defense still has a lot of problems. I mean, they're not a good run defense. They're dead last in pressure rate, even with getting a little healthier. Most of the guys who came back are linebackers, secondary corners. So a lot of their injury issues, like Matabike being out as their entire run stop and half their pass rush, is something that won't be addressed this year. So I feel like Baltimore's still pretty light, and that's the thing. If Tua just gets to sit there and pick out passes and move the ball methodically, they can drain the clock and keep this game relatively close. So I do think it's a little high, but I'm not like dying to bet the Dolphins either. So that's kind of where I come down on this game. I think if you're looking at the price on Baltimore, it's kind of just assuming Baltimore's just a top 6 or 7 team again. I kind of want to see that first, especially since Lamar's coming off of a soft tissue injury. What if they don't run him as much? What if he's not as sharp coming back off of a pretty long layoff? He wasn't great either in like week 3 and week 4 against Detroit and Kansas City. Miami, doesn't have much in terms of resistance, but I don't love the idea of laying Baltimore over a touchdown on a short week on the road against a Dolphins team that still moves the ball. If you just take out, I know you can't just like take out the bad game, but they had the one outlier performance against the Browns. If you remove that from the sample, they're 12th in EPA per drive. Like they've moved the ball this year. So I still don't really trust this Ravens defense much.
Yeah, I think you're right here. We're market slightly too low on the Dolphins and then slightly too high on the Ravens. Again, like you said, we got to see it first. And the problem with this Ravens team as well is on offense. If Lamar is not cooking, they don't really have anyone to cover up any warts they have. Like, of course, Derrick Henry's been good, but hasn't been great. Mark Andrews over the hill. Zay Flowers is a good receiver, not elite. So yeah, lot of problems there. Last question for you before you head out. Anything that you're looking forward to this week? Anything you're like circling on the slate, on the calendar, just saying like, hey, I want to watch this, or I'm looking for this. Could be player level, could be team level. Anything that you're looking for.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see if Mike Tomlin's ever going to adjust his defense in any way, shape, or form. Like, they lose Deshaun Elliott, who's pretty important back there in their secondary, and we've just seen this time and time and time again in the last calendar year. As I think TJ Watt's taken a step back, and the pass rush hasn't been as vicious. You've seen all of the flaws in the house of cards come down. It's just it feels a very antiquated defense, and the way Steichen is cooking right now, like, it could be really fun. And, obviously he's already facing a lot of criticism, Mike Tomlin, but it could get ratcheted up again. If they lose 3 straight home games and fall to 500 and all of a sudden the division's looking pretty cooked, that could get ugly quickly in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm an idiot. I bet on them to win their division, and like here we are again. We're staring,
You're not dead.
But we're staring at a 9-8 season for the Pittsburgh Steelers, like as it always seems
For
to
the
be.
20th straight year, seemingly. Yeah.
Anyways, Anthony, appreciate you joining the show. We'll chat soon.
Thanks, man.
All right. Talk soon. Awesome stuff there. You can follow Anthony on Twitter. Link in the description down below. Yeah, great stuff. Love talking the NFL. We're going to continue with the NFL. Up next, we have Hitman coming on. We just talked about that Thursday night football game. We're going to break it down a little bit more of a player level stuff. Before we do that, though, just want to give you a quick shout out to our sponsors over at FanDuel. FanDuel is making Week 9 even bigger with a chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets this Thursday night. That's right, $2 million. Here's how it works. Opt in and place an anytime touchdown bet on the Ravens versus the Dolphins using your profit boost. And if the player you pick scores either the first or last touchdown of the game, you will earn a share of $2 million in bonus bets. $1 million for each touchdown. Still haven't looked at the board yet. Don't know who I would take. Maybe we'll talk it through with Hitman during this next segment here. It's just one more reason to bet on the NFL with FanDuel. So whether you've got a feeling about the opening drive or you're banking on a clutch finish, now's the time to get in the game. Just visit FanDuel.com/forward progress to download the app today and get started. FanDuel, an official sports book partner of the NFL. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas and affiliates of Kansas Star Casino. 19 plus and physically located in Ontario, or 18 plus and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in must apply profit boost token on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last touchdown pick. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. Or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY, or text HOPE-NY in New York. Call Connex Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 or visit connexontario.ca. All right. Up next, he's one of the best prop bettors I know. You can catch him tonight on our watch along, and you see him here every Thursday on the Hammer Daily. Hitman, how's it going?
Blue Jays. Blue Jays. 1 win away.
1 win away. I love how you don't even know it's let's go Blue Jays. You're just saying Blue Jays. It's like you just don't even know anything about this team. You're just along for the ride.
All I did is I just clicked the button. I didn't know one player other than Guerrero. I just clicked the button, and I guess I'm 1 win away from getting lucky.
Now that we're 1 win away from the World Series, can you name another player on the Jays team?
George Springer.
Okay. Anyone else?
Don't they have like a fat catcher?
Yes.
Or
yes.
something?
Be nice.
I don't know his name, but and then shit, I should know one of the pitchers. I don't know. No, that's it.
All right. One of them follows TA on Twitter, actually. Maybe that's a hint that you'll.
No, I've seen him talk about it, but I won't know the name.
All right, never mind. It's all good. It's all good, Hitman. You click the button. Hopefully you're right. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow here in Toronto.
It's going to be tough. Talk Thursday night football.
All right, let's talk Thursday night football here. Baltimore at Miami. Let's talk like game level stuff before we get into props here. Talked about with Anthony previous segment here. Do you feel like Baltimore has deserved to be back to where we had them before the Lamar injury and all these defensive injuries kind of like compiled all in one, like -8 point favorites right now on the spread? Do you agree with where they're currently being market rated, or do you think that there's like a little bit room, a little bit of skepticism here from you for this team?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the number should have been 8.5 when I did bet Baltimore, -7, -115. This was on the Monday opener. I just was very confident that Lamar was going to play in this game. And obviously I looked like an idiot because I did bet the Ravens the week before at -6.5, thinking Lamar was going to play, and it backfired. I ended up winning the bet.
Yeah, you won.
But yeah, I just thought Lamar was going to play, and I thought this number should have been closer to like 8.5 with Lamar out there. But obviously now the limits are very high. The market's kind of pricing it 7.5 -115, which is kind of similar to -8, -110. But yeah, I mean, I kind of think the line's fair now. So I think it makes a good teaser if you have options at -120. I would definitely, my favorite teaser would be them in Denver.
All right.
To get up to 7.5.
All right. Makes sense here. Let's talk a little bit player level stuff. You gave out a release that I just want you to talk through quickly. Was it Tanner Connor under 1.5 receptions?
Yeah,
Is that just because you don't think he'll be the guy getting the snaps at tight end for Miami, or you don't think he'll get the ball in general?
Yeah, so Tanner Connor is he's still 14.5 receiving yards on FanDuel. Like, just for transparency, I played 16.5, but I think 14.5 is like last amount of EV left. I wouldn't play 13.5, but 14.5. It would be a very small edge for me, but still a small edge on under 14.5. I just think that Greg Dulcich should be the guy that's priced as the number one pass catcher for the Dolphins in this game. Julian Hill being out for this game kind of led last week to Tanner Connor playing the Julian Hill role, which is just like strictly a blocker. Also, Miami went to a lot more 6 offensive linemen sets last week against the Falcons as well. So all this affected his playing time, and Greg Dulcich was just pretty much used as the pass catching tight end. Now, Miami didn't find themselves in a lot of pass catching situations because they were leading throughout most of the game. But I think that Dulcich is just going to run more routes, and I think that Tanner Connor is just going to play that early down tight end blocker role for Miami in this game. And let's be honest, like, he's just not a great player. He's just not a great pass catcher to begin with. So I thought under 1.5 receptions. I priced it more as like a 50-50 bet. I got plus 125 on it, and I think the 14.5, very small edge on the under.
All right, small edge on the under there. If we're looking at touchdown markets, which I always like to look at to like kind of quantify and talk about these things, especially with guys like Dulcich where he's not listed, plus 700 for Greg Dulcich to score a touchdown, whereas Tanner Connor plus 600 slightly lower. So
yeah,
I
would say that I don't know if I like Dulcich, but I'd say he should be better odds than Connor, in my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, let's flip over. I want to talk about the rushing attack for the Baltimore Ravens. Do you think that we saw Keaton Mitchell get 4 carries last week. We were reminded how explosive he is. Do you think we'll see any Keaton Mitchell this game, just to give them some like different looks out of the backfield than what they're getting from Derrick Henry?
Yeah, I think plus 750 to score a touchdown isn't a bad look on Mitchell. As far as his rush yards, I did bet some early rush yards on Mitchell. At 13.5, I definitely lean over on it. And maybe I get involved at some point a little more on that 13.5. But here's my trepidation. Like the case to make for Mitchell is that they talked about getting him more usage, and he had a really good game last week, 4 carries, I think, for like 40-something yards. Yeah. The only trepidation I had is they came in the last week with that mindset about getting him the ball, and he still did not get a touch until the second drive of the third quarter. So any type of game script concern, like if Miami does keep this close, then that's really going to affect it. Like if Baltimore ends up being up double digits, like I think he probably does get his 5 carries or something like that. But I'm just a little worried about what does happen. Like, is he just game script dependent? So I don't know. It was. I don't hate the over stuff on Mitchell, but I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
That would be my lean.
TBD for that one. All right, let's flip over. I'm curious because we touched on the tight end room for the Miami Dolphins here. Any looks in terms of the wide receiver room for the Dolphins? Jalen Waddle's listed at 63.5. Malik Washington 27.5. Devon Achane, running back, obviously a little bit lower than I expected. It's like 32.5. We've seen him catch a ton of passes throughout the season. Nick Whisper-Kikini 19.5. Anyone you like here in terms of in the passing game? How do you think they're going to spread the ball? What's your opinion here?
Not much. I mean, I think that Miami is coming in this game with a little bit, at least wanting to try to establish the run early. Mm-hmm. Now, do they end up just getting it down early and they end up in a game script where they have to throw? That's entirely possible, but I at least think that they want to run the ball. They, as I mentioned earlier, they use some of those 6 offensive lineman sets. They got a lot of running backs involved last week in the rushing department. So there's not really any Miami guys that I'm really interested in, to be honest. Like I just think that the market's on top of a lot of the Miami pass catchers. Like we all know that Jalen Waddle's going to be the guy that's fed extremely high target share. Malik Washington's going to be kind of the gadget guy behind the line of scrimmage that tries to get some run after the catch opportunities. So not much. I really haven't done anything with the Miami pass catchers.
All right, let's flip over and let's talk tight ends on the Ravens side. Anything you like here between Likely and Andrews, who are priced? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of think that Likely and Andrews should be closer.
Okay.
FanDuel has it as tight as anybody right now, but like you can look at like some other sites and like Andrews is as high as 32.5 and Likely is like 22.5. Like that's a little too big of a gap for me personally. But FanDuel's pricing it tighter. But I think if you do shop around, that I don't think that's should be as tight as it is. I mean, Likely is running more routes. It's only like 1 or 2 more routes a game, but he's running more routes the last 2 weeks than Mark Andrews. And I think that Likely could be every bit as good of a pass catcher. He hasn't shown it throughout the first few weeks this year, but he also hasn't played with Lamar yet. So, I just think that tight end room could be a little tighter than what the market's saying.
Yeah, that was kind of his MO coming out of college as well. More of like a traditional like receiver than a tight end who can like block and do all those sorts of things, just a pass catcher. Out the back, Hitman, I know you mentioned Keaton Mitchell to score a touchdown. Yeah. Yes. Any other touchdown scorers you like? Did you prepare this time, or am I still going to put you on the spot for this one? Also,
I did not prepare.
Okay,
let's look right now.
let me buy you some time here. Is Derrick Henry at -240? Like, I don't want to say the craziest we've ever seen, but like, is that like probably like I know you don't really look too much into these markets, but -240 to score a touchdown seems like a really, really big number. Any opinion on that?
Yeah, no. I would not lay that. I wouldn't put it in your SGPs or anything like that. Yeah, I guess probably the Mitchell. I mean, it moved from +750 to +650 after I mentioned something. So that probably would have been it.
Okay, well, there's still +900s out there if you still like Keaton Mitchell, which is pretty widely available. There's got to be another one.
Move it FanDuel quick when we talk about them.
There's got to be another one you like on Miami here. No one you're looking at.
It would be like force again. For this is just for the people that want to have action, and I think it's a break even bet or something. But I would probably say Greg Dulcich at 7-1 would be like my forced play.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be Greg Dulcich.
Well, you can parlay Greg Dulcich and Keaton Mitchell at FanDuel. Anytime touchdown scorer, get it 56-1. If that's what you're.
Is that your play, Jason, for today?
No play for today. If you want to see my play, you're gonna have to tune into the live watch along on Forward Progress for Thursday Night Football between the Baltimore Ravens and Miami Dolphins. Hey man, anything we haven't talked about that you want to touch on here, or you kind of got everything off your chest?
No, yeah, I think that's it. Like I said, a lot of people still do have access to minus 120 teasers. I like Baltimore and Denver, as I mentioned earlier. That's something that I would jump on. I don't, the other like long teaser legs that are out there right now. I mean, the Giants make sense, but I lean San Fran in that game. So there's that. I mean, Lions obviously make mathematical sense, but I like Minnesota in that game, and Buffalo makes sense, but I like Kansas City in that game. So, yeah, if anybody still plays those at the juice I mentioned, I like that combo.
All right, sounds good. Hitman, appreciate you joining the show today, and yeah, we'll talk it through. I appreciate your pronunciation.
No Pizzola tonight, right?
No Pizzola tonight. I don't know if you've heard the recent shenanigans that's been going on the Hammer Daily here, but he skipped out on a show on Tuesday because he was feeling tired after he had after he tweeted at 12:50 a.m. Saying, "Gonna pour myself another Spro for this Jays game."
I mean, the guy goes to the game and says, "I'm too tired." After, then he watches the game on his couch, and he's too tired after.
Yep.
Like, what's next?
I don't know.
What is next?
It's setting a bad precedent here, Hitman. I think you have to pull him aside and talk to him. Do us a favor here.
I mean, I won't even leave my home. I want to go to the trust me. I want to go to the Blue Jays World Series game. I truly do, but I won't leave the desk because I just have to work. I have to. I'll be twitching if I'm not at my desk and not working. And this guy just leaves whenever the hell he wants. Like it's unbelievable, but.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah.
We got to get you a mobile lab, Hitman. That's the thing. We got to get you a mobile lab because the lab right now at home, it's great, but we got to get you on the road sometime. So anyways, Hitman, appreciate you joining the show. We'll see you tonight, Thursday night football game. Fourth quarter, you're going to be there?
Fourth quarter. Hopefully we'll have some props. Red hot.
Love it. All right. Appreciate it, Hitman. Talk soon.
Bye.
All right. See ya. Great stuff there from the Hitman. That's why they call him the Hitman. Yeah. Greg Dulcich. What was he pronouncing it as? Dulcich?
I think it's Dulcich.
Dulcich, yeah. You guys get on me for pronunciations. When are we going to get on Hitman for those? Anyways, all right. Before we get into our next guest here, just want to give you guys a quick reminder that every Thursday here on the Hammer Betting Network, we have our Best Bets show with Rob. Well, maybe with Rob. We don't know. Is he going to?
Who knows with this guy?
Is he going to show up today? Maybe. Rob. Austin, Suma, they're going to be live 5 p.m. Eastern time, giving out 3 of their best bets each today, 5 p.m. Eastern. You're not going to want to miss it on the Forward Progress YouTube channel. Week 9 best bets with Rob, maybe, Austin, and Suma. Speaking of Austin, what a surprise. He happens to be our next guest on the show. Wow, look at me doing things right. He's an NFL and college football, does NFL and college football projections over at The Athletic. Austin, how's it going?
It's going good, man. The Blue Jays are making things fun for all you guys. Don't. It's not over yet. Not over yet, but it's been fun to watch.
Don't worry. We live in Toronto. We know it's not over yet.
We are aware. We thought it was over when we lost to the Dodgers in 18 innings. We're not thinking it's over after we win games. We only think it's over after we lose. That's how it works here. That's how the brain has been wired. Living in the city. So yeah. Were you watching the game last night?
Yeah, I did not stay up for the 18 inning. I couldn't pull it together. You know, when you're not a diehard, 3 a.m. That's tough. That's a tall ask.
Yeah.
I would be paying that a couple days later. So I made the business decision to wake up to the news that they lost.
Well, I wish I made the same business decision because they lost, but if they won, I definitely would not be feeling that way.
Right.
But I think I'm still feeling the trickle down effect of like not sleeping until 3 a.m. What is it? 3-4 days after. But anyways, I would do it 10 times out of 10. Especially with the chance that they could win. Anyways, let's get into some college football today. A couple games that you like, a couple marquee games that I want to touch on. One of the games that you like off the bat is this Michigan State versus Minnesota game. Minnesota we've seen as a team that struggles on the road, but they're at home. They're laying 3.5 against this Michigan State team. 44.5 total. Bottom dwelling, bad. Michigan State team here. Break down this matchup. What do you like in this game?
Yeah, and that is one of the home away splits I'm not a huge buyer into, but they have been pretty poor on the road this year. So that is I'm not going to be mad about that with this spot, but I do like Minnesota here. Even, there's some -3.5 out there. I like it at that price. I think this should be closer to touchdown. They're strong on the defensive side of the ball. That's kind of been their identity under PJ Fleck for the, handful of years that he's been there. Offense leaves a little bit to be desired. Luckily for them, Michigan State's defense is pretty poor, and I don't think the offense is anything special here. They just came off the loss to Michigan, obviously a huge rivalry game. Again, I'm not going to get into, hey, I'm factoring in the letdown spot or anything like that. But if it was kind of telling, like they weren't really in that game, and like I don't know if they're pouring everything into that. I don't think this Michigan State football team is very good. There's like rumors swirling out there that Jonathan Smith, their head coach, is not working out. So I think that Minnesota here is the better side. They have the better defense. I think they have the better offense, though it is closer. They have the much better defense. And then you factor in they're playing at home. I think Michigan State, just not a consistent enough team on the offensive side of the ball for me to back them on the road in conference play. I'm willing to lay the 3.5. If you can get 3, great. But I would bet the 3.5 as well, because I think this should be closer to a touchdown.
All right. 3.5 is pretty widely available. Also 3's out there as well. Anything you like in terms of the total, or are you kind of passing on that?
Yeah, it's tough. I don't really want to get into the over just because both like the problem, like my numbers lean that way. And Minnesota wants to play it. Like if Minnesota wins this game 20-3, like they're ecstatic. Like that's the type of game they want to play. They don't want to get into, a higher scoring game. So like my numbers lean a little bit towards the over, but bigger edge on Minnesota here. So I'm not going to double dip side and total in the game. I'll just stick with the side.
Yeah. Like I said before, a bunch of -3s, -115 ish out there, 3.5s plus money. Shop around, look for that if you like Minnesota. In this game, let's flip over and talk about Penn State. Penn State taking on Ohio State. Game we had circled at the beginning of the year, in the before the season started, and now, it's going to be a tough game. Penn State right now 6 feet under for this year. We'll see how they're going to be next year. They have a backup quarterback starting for them. Ohio State against they're the best team in the country. So laying 20.5 at home, totals at 44.5. What do you like in this game and why?
Yeah, so I think the side is pretty fair here. 20.5. I think that's the right number, which we would have never guessed. Even like 3-4 weeks ago, I feel like would have been a shocker. I do like the total in this one. I like the under at 44.5 right now, getting the hook on the better side of a key number. I think Penn State is going to grind out the ground game. I think they're not going to be, even if they get down in this game, I don't think they're going to be like, hey, all right, now we got to drop back 40 times in this game to come back. I think it's going to really ride out the ground game. I think that's going to help the clock moving. I think that's maybe a little bit, my numbers are adjusted more to them being leaning on the run game. So you're going to see the clock moving more. So a little bit towards the under. And then Ohio State's offense, like Penn State's defense is still pretty solid. They kind of got I don't want to say punked, if you will, against UCLA. There was a new coordinator. It was, but outside of that, they've been pretty solid defensively. Even against the Northwestern, like the offense wasn't doing anything for them. I thought the defense played all right. So I still have faith in the defense. Ohio State's offense it's been good, but not I don't think it's the old offenses that we've seen from Ohio State. I think they're more lean on their defense type of team. And then on top of the fact that I think Penn State's going to run the ball, I think Ohio State should have success with their defense is the best in the country per my projections. So under 44.5 for me. I think this is going to be a grinded out type of game. Penn State does not. If Penn State wants to pull off this miracle upset, and return the favor of what's happened to them this year, they want this game to slow it down.
Yeah. All right. Makes perfect sense here. Looking towards that under 44.5. Pretty widely available, -113 over at FanDuel. I do see 44 is starting to show. So if you like it, maybe might want to scoop that up sooner rather than later. Let's move over and talk about Vanderbilt taking on Texas. Texas 2.5 point favorites at home, 44.5 total. Arch Manning, we don't know his status yet. Questionable play. Caldwell came in last game, did a great job. Game-winning drives for him. And yeah, it's not an upset, but like a comeback win, over Mississippi State when they were basically down and out. But on the other side of the ball, this Vanderbilt team has been one of the most fun teams to kind of follow in the country. Great story all around in college football this year. Who do you like in this game? Do you think Texas has this with the backup quarterback? What's your opinion on the status of Arch Manning? Is that priced into the line, or is there not that much of a difference between Arch Manning and Caldwell?
Yeah, I can't. It's tough because we have such a small sample on Caldwell and to really get a good feel for it. I'd say there's probably not a huge difference. I think there's probably a higher ceiling. We've seen enough with Arch in the lineup that Texas probably isn't going to light up the scoreboard. Now, I don't think Vanderbilt's defense is amazing or anything. So I do think there is an opportunity to move the ball. That's really the interesting matchup in this one. I think Vanderbilt's offense, Diego Pavia is still 24, 25 years old, still absolutely terrorizing defenses. If he can go on the road against a Texas defense that ranks top 5 in my numbers and do things like Vanderbilt's, I don't want to say kind of a lock for the playoffs, but they have a very good chance for it. So offense, defense for Vanderbilt's offense, Texas defense, that's the key matchup. And the other side, like I said, I'm not a huge believer in Vanderbilt's defense, definitely through the air. Can Texas's offense take advantage of that? That's kind of the question here. I am pretty much on market, so I can't say one way or the other. I do lean a little bit towards the over. If I had to pick, something to hop on in this game, that's probably where I'd go. And maybe if Caldwell or Arch Manning is ruled out and we get Caldwell, maybe the over is a little bit more enticing to me because of the upside of the offense. I think if Arch is in, the upside of we've seen it. It's just not a good offense with Arch right now, whatever that is, whether he's not good or he's just not ready yet. We'll see. But a little bit lean to the over. I think the spread for the uncertainty is priced pretty fairly, though.
All right. Makes perfect sense there. So yeah. Do you have like a strong feel where you think this is going to go, or this is just up in the air for you?
Yeah, I think if Arch, I wouldn't be shocked if Arch is ruled in.
Okay. If
we get some Vanderbilt money though, like I could see people fading Arch in this way, like just because what that offense is. Like it's hard to like if you think of it from Vanderbilt from a game planning standpoint, like you gotta you kind of know what they want to do with Arch, right? And then if you get the backup in, you're not getting a full prep this week of the backup being in there. So I think you could see some Vanderbilt money if Arch is rolled in, just because it's more of a certainty of what the Texas offense is going to be.
All right. Makes sense from a preparation standpoint. Let's flip over, talk Oklahoma, Tennessee. Tennessee laying 3.5 points at home, total 55.5. Two teams with 2 losses. This is like a playoff eliminator. It would take a lot for either of these teams if they were to lose. Like one of them is going to lose this game. It's going to take a lot for that team that loses this game to make the playoffs. So a lot on the line here for both teams. Who do you like here and why?
Yeah, this one's again another interesting. Like John Mateer was in September before the injury. It was like, I don't know if he ever was actually the Heisman favorite, but he was for definitely 1 week. Yeah. He was there. Then like as soon as we got there, it was like Heisman curse, whatever you want to call it. It immediately dropped out there. But their offense, like even when he's been back, the game against Texas, even though I do think Texas has a very good defense, so I'm not going to fault him too hard. Like the offense was a little bit, just hasn't really felt like what we saw in September. So I don't know if that has to do with him not being fully healthy yet. With that being said, I do lean a little bit towards Tennessee here. This is around a field goal in market right now. If I had to pick one, that's the side I would go on. The total I think is pretty fair. Tennessee's defense leaves a little bit to be desired for me, but Heupel's offense is good. They know how to generate points. Oklahoma's defense going on the road, like I said, the offense isn't quite there yet. So I have a slight numbers lean towards the Tennessee here. And your point is exactly right. This is no guarantee that either team makes the playoffs. Tennessee's still got to play Vandy at the end of the year. But the loser I think is out for sure. And definitely Oklahoma, because their schedule is absolutely brutal the rest of the way. So lean Tennessee here in a October, I guess it'll be November at that point. Early November elimination game.
All right. Leaning Tennessee here. Bye-bye, Oklahoma. Sorry to any Oklahoma fans in the chat watching. And, of course, we can't have a segment with you on without talking USC radio here. USC at Nebraska. USC on the road, laying almost a touchdown. They can score. They can score against this frisky Nebraska team. To keep their hopes and dreams alive. Listen, it's going to be a long shot for them to make the playoffs. I still am having hopes that they're going to make the conference finals here, but I might be huffing too much hopium. I honestly have no idea how the tiebreakers are working. That's like my only hope right now. I got to dig into that a little bit. But yeah, what do you like here? Do you think 6.5 is like a little bit too much for this USC team that's kind of struggled defensively, or do you think the offense can like keep up with the pace needed to cover a full touchdown?
Yeah, it's that's the worry is a little bit too much for my liking. I'm not sprinting to the window here to bet Nebraska. If this would get I don't think it will, but if it gets to 7, I think that would be something that would interest a lot of people, getting the full touchdown. I'm a big fan. USC's offense has been very good. Like I feel like I don't want to say this because you'll take it like it'll be the only thing you take away from this. The offense is really good.
Yeah, I agree.
And people don't like. I don't know if we're like not there yet. Like people are like, oh, they couldn't do anything against Notre Dame. That game was in a monsoon, basically. I'm not taking too much away from that game. The offense is awesome. The defense for the most part, is okay. They just cannot stop the run. That's really their concern. Is Nebraska the offense that I think to exploit that? Not really. Like this would be a much worse matchup for me. If Nebraska was a better rushing team. They're not a great, crazy efficient rushing offense per my numbers. So I don't know if they'll be able to really exploit that to where it's just like, hey, you look at the USC Notre Dame game in a monsoon, what they run for 280 yards or something like that. Notre Dame did. So yeah, I that's the area that Nebraska is going to need to attack here. I don't really want to entertain it too much at 6.5, 7. I'd be kind of interested, but yeah, again, you talk about USC's playoff hopes. Nebraska's still technically alive as well. So another de facto, their schedule's not bad.
Okay.
But another de facto elimination game, which is weird to say. But that's the matchup that I'm looking for. The Nebraska rushing attack versus can USC stop the run.
They were able to do it against Michigan, so that you got to think that there's something there. It's just obviously they
on
gave
the road. That's the other issue too.
Yeah.
They got it's not an Eastern East Coast game.
Yeah,
it is a night game, so that's a little bit easier for them. But can that defense travel? That's the question. Illinois and Notre Dame both kind of got them going there.
Yeah. Listen, I see where you're coming from. We almost beat Notre Dame though. We got to remember that. Like that was just that game wasn't that close. It wasn't that close, but like it's just they needed a couple bounces. USC that was the when you're not an elite team, you need those bounces to go your way. So yeah, I'll give you that. The interesting thing here will be was that a blip? That game in the running game against Notre Dame, is that a blip? That'll be the key here. All right, I'll pay attention to that. Just also maybe a major key of the game: don't give up a kick return touchdown. Maybe that's like probably pretty. And maybe don't fumble on a wide receiver reverse pass in a monsoon. Also another thing that you probably shouldn't do. Yeah, Lincoln likes to get a little frisky. Anyways, Austin, appreciate you joining the show. You'll be live 5 p.m. today on the Forward Progress YouTube channel. You're cooking. I think you have the best record on the show, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, I had a very hot start. We've cooled off a little bit, but we're that's the goal. The market wasn't efficient. I took advantage. Hopefully we can keep it going for the end of the year. All right, sounds good. Austin, appreciate you chatting. We'll talk soon. Yep, of course. Have a good one. All right, awesome stuff there. Like I said, you can check out Austin on the Forward Progress YouTube channel live today, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. You can also check him out on Twitter. Link in the description down below. If you're on Twitter, come over to YouTube, get the link, and then go back to Twitter and follow Austin on Twitter. And that wraps up today's show. Oh, wait. Edgework Overtime. It is happening today. I do believe we have So Money and Alex Moretto on the show. I saw you building out a quad box behind the scenes. Do we have Albert as well, or is it just Alex and So Money? From my understanding, it's just Alex and So Money. Okay. But as soon as we get a fourth guest, we are ready to go. We're ready to go with the fourth. Yes. All right. Sounds good. Let's bring him on then. Edgework. First of all, fists in the chat. Edgework community. Let's see it. Let's bring up So Money, the tortured Canucks fan. Someone who, listen, we didn't talk about this on air yesterday, but like, and I don't want to call out So Money or anything like that, but when we were talking about the Jays saying like, hey, the number seems like a little bit shorter on the Jays than it did the last 2 games, and he just had this big smirk saying someone moved the mark. I wonder who could that have been? I don't know. How you feeling, So Money? After I know you have some Jays equity in the futures market, and I know you had the Jays last night. You must be feeling pretty good.
It was a nice night. It's been a good morning, and I think it's gonna continue tomorrow. All
right, sweet. That's what I like to hear. What was the big thing here? You just felt like that Trey had just had a better grip on his splitter and was going to come out looking a little bit better, and you think that the Jays could touch up Snell? Was that like that's what happened? Was that what you foresaw, or just like the simple numbers play?
Both. I thought that Trey showed a lot of good things in his first start, and he's getting the proper coaching as well. And the kid has a good head on his shoulders too. So I think that that all plays into it. And of course the number, right? You're gonna 2-2 Dodgers are favored. You're gonna get a inflated number anyways. So it was both of those factors that I wanted to take advantage of.
All right, love it. I'm happy for you. So Money. Alex, how's it going?
Good. I mean, I heard all the chatter about the quad box, and that was supposed to be put in use on Tuesday. Albert was like, man, come on. Like, I miss getting all of us on together. We got to set this up. And I'm like, so I get Jacob fills this whole thing out for us. And then Albert messages me on Sunday night, man, I'm not going to be able to make it to either show this week. I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be doing this. I'm just busy. I haven't looked at the NHL board in 4 days. I'm like, this is unbelievable. So that's the reason we have not put it to use yet.
This is a trickle down effect from Rob. We have to address this at some point. This is a trickle down effect. We got everyone bailing. Everyone. Yeah, it starts at the top, but this is.
Well, Moretto is not exactly exempt from that conversation either. Let's be honest. When's the last time you were in studio on a Thursday?
Well, I mean, we've had some extenuating circumstances. You know, Jason was sick.
Throw him into the bus. I love it.
And then George couldn't go in because his knee. And then Rob said last week, well, let's do it remotely. I don't want to go in. So, I mean, it hasn't really been me, but it just falls down on me. So it is what it is.
All right. Appreciate you falling on the sword. Are you going to be in today?
No.
No way, man. What extenuating circumstances going on tonight?
Then there was no extenuating circumstances this time where it's raining outside and my wife is working. My wife every 6 weeks she works overnights at the hospital, and this is her week of overnights this week. So like to get someone to watch my kid until like 1 a.m. is borderline like impossible. Like I can't ask that of someone.
Bring them in for the watch along.
Yeah.
All right.
That would be.
Let's dive into things here. Let's kick things off. Let's do the same style that we did on Tuesday. Just go through every single game on the board, rapid fire style. We're gonna start with the Calgary Flames and the Ottawa Senators. Ottawa at home, 176 favorites. 176 at home favorites. Totals at 6. Juiced over -120. Moretto, we'll start with you here. Who do you like and why?
Yeah, I'm on an under here. I really like it. I know that the market has moved a little bit to the over with the Devin Cooley news, which is fine. I know I talked a lot of shit about Cooley coming into the season and how I want to desperately bet against him. But like, I think goalies are pretty fickle, kind of volatile, and like guys can change in, kind of in the blink of an eye. And obviously Cooley is not the goalie we once saw. He's had 2 appearances this year. He's been fine. I'm willing to buy into that. And I don't think there's there's a big drop off from Wolf, let's be honest, but it's not like to the point where I think this is like an auto over like a Caden Primo is, or we've seen it over a much bigger sample. And these are just 2 under teams for me. The Sens, for sure, I talked about how I really want to bet their unders. Forget about the noise. Like their last 5 games have averaged 3.7 expected goals in 5-on-5. It is dead low event hockey. They have the league's second best 5-on-5 defense. They're in the bottom half offensively. There's just been some blow up games in net. Like Olmark was terrible against Chicago the other night. Swayman was so bad on Monday. Lindgren was terrible in that weekend game. They're like the 3 of them combined for like 12, 13 goals saved below expected. So it's just some terrible goaltending performances kind of inflated the scores. But like, I think there's going to be some major aggression coming. This is a very much an under team. I think we're going to see a lot of 2-1, 3-2 kind of games coming up, and this is a good spot for that to start. So I'm on the under 6 here. If the over keeps taking a bit more money with Cooley, I'll probably just add more, and this will be like a really big position for me.
Under 6 minus 106 available at FanDuel. There's like a rogue plus 100 out there. If you can get that, maybe hit that. So money, you in agreement here? Same sentiment. You're looking at the under in this game.
Yeah, I played the under as well, and I do feel a little bit attacked here with Moretto calling goalies fickle. I don't know how I feel about that. Yes, I same thing. The only thing I'll add to is that yes, we know that there's a significant downgrade from Wolf to Cooley, but it's not as if Wolf has been playing outstanding either. He's shown he's shown periods of his potential, and he's been great in some aspects, but he's also struggled in certain games as well. So yes, on talent basis, it's a drop off, but on an output basis, it's not. I don't think it's as much as the market seems to think here.
All right, a little bit of breaking news, courtesy of the chat. I want to get your guys' instant reaction to this before we get into the next game. Do you guys know what it is or no?
No.
All right, Colorado Avalanche extend Martin Necas, 8-year deal.
Oh, wow.
$11.5 million.
Good.
Any opinions here? Full no moves as well for the first 7 years. Excuse me.
11.5. I mean, with the rising cap, like it's probably pretty expected. You can't have everyone taking sweetheart deals like they are in Montreal to win cups. It's just not everyone's built that way. And good for Colorado though, because you don't want to lose a guy like that for free. So he's been great alongside McKinnon. Although I think a lot of guys are great alongside McKinnon. So
yeah. So money same way.
Yeah, I'm glad that they got it done. I think that he's shown that he's a good fit there. I think they needed some time to both sides to kind of get comfortable with each other, and now they're ready to move forward long term. So I think that it's good for both. I don't really worry about the number. I mean, there's a guy in Vancouver who's making around that as well. So I think that it all, with like the cap going up, it's all gonna smooth itself out anyways.
It all evens out. Also, like, just sign your best players and just, work your way around the edges. That's what it really should come down to. As we've seen with this Blue Jays team. So that's a slightly different scenario, but get good players around the edges and you'll be able to win. Let's move on to Nashville Predators taking on the Flyers. Flyers favorites at home, minus 150 right now. Totals at 5.5. Juice towards the over. Maybe we're going to start to see some sixes pop soon if there's more money towards the over. So money, I'm going to start with you here. Anything you like in this game?
I mean, Nashville sucks, right? Like we know that Nashville sucks, but you look at the Flyers number, and like I like the way that the Flyers have been playing. I think that they're a young team that's trying to get it together here. So, and I think the future is bright in general in Philadelphia, but it's a tough number to lay on Philly. I'm not taking that number on Nashville. I think the total is fair. I got nothing here, guys.
All right, nothing here for So Money. And I love how you said Nashville's just terrible. Like, what Barry Trotz has done to this team is it's crazy stuff. Horrific. Great coach. Doesn't mean you're a good GM. Alex, you feeling the same way here?
I actually laid it with the Flyers. I feel like maybe I'm a little bit lower. Maybe I'm downgrading them even more than the market is for the loss of Yossi, but also now like Willsby's out. He was playing top 4 minutes for them. He got hurt last game. Doesn't sound like he's going to play. Not a guy who's necessarily going to sway the market one way or another, whether he's in or not. But a guy who, in my opinion, does have an impact just based on the fact that like they're already pretty thin there. Now you're dealing with a cluster. Nashville was as bad as I've ever seen a team play maybe on Tuesday night. I think this team is bordering on like could be the first pick in the draft this year. The McKenna sweepstakes, like they are terrible, especially with the injuries. Obviously, if they get Yossi back, but like they generated 0.2 expected goals for against the Lightning. Obviously, Philly's not the Lightning, but they are playing really well defensively with under Tocchet. A 94% expected goal share for Tampa. This team is terrible. They're really, really bad. I've downgraded them significantly. I think I'm going to try and bet against them as much as I can until the market catches up and borderline starts pricing them like they're the maybe not quite Sharks of last year, but like I think they're encroaching that territory. So I laid it with Philly. We'll see how it looks.
All right, laying it with Philly at the what number do you need for that?
I bet minus 145, and there's a minus 143 available. So yeah,
lot of stuff out there. Minus 143, but anywhere between minus 150 and 140 seems to be like it's out there. All right, let's move on. Let's talk Dallas Stars taking on Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa Bay Lightning at home, minus 150 over at FanDuel. Totals at 6. Slight juice towards the under at FanDuel, but it seems to be like almost even money everywhere else. Do you have a certain lean here for this game, Alex? I'll let you lead.
Was it, sorry, you said Tampa here?
Tampa and Dallas, yeah.
Yeah. It's tough. I know so many bet against Dallas the other night, so I'm interested to hear his thoughts here. I was on the other side of that one. I bought it kind of low on Dallas after the Washington money with the Strome news. I was pretty lucky, I think, to win that one. I was really disappointed with how Dallas played with no Dylan Strome in there for Washington. It was a really ugly game. They did not deserve to win that. So money definitely should have cashed that ticket. I want to fade them because I don't think they have it right now. I think they're really bad, and I think this Tampa team is really, really good. And I think Tampa's going to kind of keep piling up some wins here. But like, I think the price is not quite what I want to lay, because this is still a dangerous Dallas team that has talent that can maybe turn it on, rather quickly. But like, strong lean towards Tampa. I just haven't fired.
All right, lean towards Tampa. Haven't fired yet. You're waiting. So money. Do you echo something similar here? What's your opinion on this game?
Yeah. I lean Tampa Bay as well. I think that they're playing very well. We touched on Dallas. I just they're getting results, but it's not. I mean, we saw Moretto touched on how they looked against Washington. Before that, games against Nashville and Carolina, where they probably should have gotten better results based on what those two teams were going through at that time. But I expected more from Dallas. We're not getting it right now. They're not playing as well as they need to be. But I think that that's accounted for in the number here, because you have Tampa Bay at a premium. So I think that the market has captured the way that the direction that these two teams are headed. So I think I will pass here. I do agree with Alex. I do need a little bit cheaper on Tampa Bay. But I think Tampa Bay is the side. Just the number doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Maybe we can find a cheaper number out there, but it's minus 150, minus 140-ish over at across market, minus 150 at FanDuel. Let's flip over, talk Buffalo, Boston. Boston just disappointing this year, as a bunch of people predicted in the NHL. At home right now, but are underdogs, plus 100 over at FanDuel. You can find better numbers out there, plus 103, plus 109 if you like the Bruins. Totals at 6.5. Shaded towards the under at FanDuel. So money, we'll start with you. Any opinion on this game?
I did bet Buffalo. I've become a believer in the Sabres now, and I got to the dark side with Alex there. I think that this team is they're primed to turn it around this year. I mean, they went through a difficult stretch to start the season, had a bunch of injuries, tons of bad luck, and I like the way that this team is headed. I did play Buffalo. Boston, I think I probably have to concede at this point that I was wrong on Boston coming into the season. I thought that they might be a bit of a feisty team. They're not showing much, and if they don't get Swayman standing on his head, there's not much that this team can do. So I did play Buffalo. I do. It's a little tight right now. I think if you can get them at minus 120, up to minus 120, I think it's fine. Mm-hmm. So I did play the Sabres here.
Minus 120 at FanDuel. There's a minus 115 out there, minus 118 I see as well, so you can probably find better numbers, but that minus 120 seems like a go on FanDuel. Moretto, you echoing the same sentiment here? Do you like Buffalo as the side? Any opinion?
Yes, I bet the Sabres. It has run a bit since then. I bet it on the kind of Corpus Allo news. Pretty crazy that honestly, I mean, I understand that it was a back-to-back last time, but we have Korpisalo in net like we did the other day. I bet the Bruins the other night, but like, how are the Sabres laying this? There was a short number a while ago, and now we had the Isles laying like -150 the other night, with like not a ton of buyback either. It's crazy. Like there is a big difference between the Sabres and the Isles, and the Isles are not the better team of those two. So yeah, I think the market is just kind of off here. And then once we got the Korpisalo confirmation, which was a bit surprising, I jumped in. Sounded like maybe Lindholm wasn't going to play after he didn't skate this morning, but turns out he had a kid and he is going to play tonight. So congrats to him and the fam. But sucks he's going to lose tonight. First game with his new child.
All right, let's flip over and talk the Islanders taking on the Hurricanes. Hurricanes at home here. Been a absolute force in the NHL for the first couple of games. For the first, 8th of the season it's been. Totals at 6.5, shaded towards the under. Alex, we'll start with you. Anything you like in this game?
Not really. I kind of like had a lean to the over, plus money over 6.5, and they're gone, and I didn't bet it, and I'm kind of okay with it. I think that's the right side, but the Isles are cleaning up a little bit defensively, and their offense is kind of slowing down. They're getting a little bit less pond hockey-ish than they were early on, and Carolina, they do have they haven't quite shown it of late with their injuries, but they do have the ability to kind of just smother teams. It's possible that they can just suffocate this game and win like 4-1. But I think there's kind of a wide range of outcomes here, kind of a bit of a volatile one. I didn't get involved in any way.
All right. I'm not getting involved, taking a step back. So money, you feel the same way? You're not looking to get involved? You're looking for a better number on anything? Or this is probably something you'll stay off?
I'll stay off of it. I do like Islanders over still, but it looks like it's been adjusted here with the nice 6.5. So yeah, I will. I can't play this over right now at the current 6.5. So I will pass. I do continue liking Islanders overs though going forward.
All right, sounds good. Liking the Islanders overs going forward, but not today.
Not today.
Today. Blackhawks against Winnipeg. We have a couple more games left. I think 6 more games after this. Do us a favor, chat. Smash the like button. Goes a long way for us here on the channel. Halfway through the Edge Rig segment. You guys asked for it. Just do us a favor. Give us those internet points. Goes a long way. It tells YouTube that you like it, which will recommend it to other people who might like it as well. Chicago, Winnipeg. Winnipeg, big favorites at home, -235 over at FanDuel. Total is at around 6. Juice towards the under. Seen some 5.5s over. Juice towards the over across the board as well. So somewhere in between there. So Money, let's start with you. Anything you like in this game?
I like Chicago overs, but it's been moved. So I will pass on this game for now. I do like the overs though with the Blackhawks.
All right, I recognize that smirk from somewhere, maybe yesterday. Anyways, Alex, you like anything in this game?
I actually recently bet an under in this game, so money. So we'll see. I think that I agree on Chicago overs based on matchup. I think this is one where Winnipeg offensively is really, really bad right now, especially with the injuries they have. They just have no ability to generate and drive play with Lowry and Perfetti still out. Doesn't sound like Lowry's going to be back. I know Perfetti's a little bit further away than that still. Yeah, I talked about wanting to fade them. I want to fade their offense here a little bit, where Chicago's been tightening up a little bit defensively. They've been playing better, but more importantly, they're getting some pretty elite goaltending from Spencer Knight. And I mean, the Jets in general, I just want to fade this team. Like, I bet some Blackhawks plus 1.5 as well. There's -128 at FanDuel, which is pretty much the best number in market right now. I like that. So I have a side and a total in this one. Hopefully the Blackhawks can do me a solid, because again, I bet against the Jets the other night, and again, I lost money, and again, I deserved way better. They should have lost to the Wild in that game, and they did not. So I'm getting pretty frustrated, but I'm going to keep banging my head against the wall here, this time with the Blackhawks. So God help me.
All right. Looking to lay that +1.5, -128 for Chicago. I believe in you, Alex. I believe in you. Praying for you on this one. Let's move over and talk Penguins and Wild. Wild at home for this game, -166 on the money line. Total right now, 6 juiced over. 6.5 pretty much everywhere else. 6 minus 128 towards the over on FanDuel. Alex, we'll start with you here. Anything you like in this game?
No, I'm kind of taking a break from the Wild right now. I think they're better than their record shows. I think the Pens are worse, but I think the market also kind of believes both of those things to be true because pretty much in line with those sentiments. So yeah, Pittsburgh's ability to create offense has kind of fallen off the cliff a little bit. So I think the goal regression is going to follow soon. But the way the Wild are playing right now, it's kind of pond hockey. So I don't have a good read on this game, and I'm just going to sit it out.
All right, sitting out on this one. So, Money, you're also going to be on the sidelines with Alex here, or you got some action tonight on this one?
No, I'll stay out of this right now. I will say that the last couple of games in their OT losses, the Wild have started looking better. They've been doing the things that they kind of need to, but they just haven't gotten the goaltending. So I think that Gustafsson has a large enough sample now where we can be pretty confident that he's not as bad as he's looked the last couple of games, and he'll be able to turn it around. So I do look for Minnesota to possibly go on a bit of a run here going forward, but that's a real tough number to lay for me. So I will pass on the game. Hopefully Minnesota plays another good game and loses so that we can possibly bet them going forward.
All right, looking to fade them hopefully over the weekend here. Let's talk about the Canucks. So, Money, your Canucks taking on the Blues. Canucks on the road, underdogs. Blues minus favorites at home, minus 162. Totals at 6 right now. Juice towards the under at FanDuel. So, Money, we'll start with you. Are you back in your Canucks here, or is it going to be a bluesy Thursday night for you?
Well, yeah, let's talk about the Canucks for a bit. Right, so I wanted to play this under, right? Yeah. I think that the Canucks are having tough time generating in general. I was all set to play this under, and then I noticed that Demko hasn't started 3 straight games all season.
Yeah,
they are taking it slow with him. I'll get back to Demko in a bit, but they are kind of cushioning him, which is fine. I think that they should. And then it looks like Lankinen's going to start today, and he stinks. And I say that with all due respect. He's not the same goalie that he was at the beginning of last year or a couple of years ago, and he's really struggled this year. I don't know if he's going to be able to turn it around, but some of the things that I see from him, it's very concerning. So I think that this is going to be a tough situation for the Canucks. They already have trouble generating offense as it is with the injuries that they have, especially with the play drivers that are out of the lineup right now. And then you combine that with not having Demko back there to kind of steal games as much as he can. I think it's going to be a tough situation for them. The Blues, I think that the line is fair right now. They should be a favorite, and they should be a pretty significant favorite. I think the Blues are on the right side tonight. But I will say, if you don't have your Demko Vezina tickets yet, there's still room. I think that he's shown a lot of good things, and he like, based on everything that I see and read from him, he really looks like he's back. So I think that, and when he is back, he is a top 3 goalie in this league. So I think that those Vezina tickets should still be live right now.
All right, Vezina tickets are still live. Love the Canucks talk radio. Always here for it. Are you? So you don't like the Blues here? Eh? You don't want to take the Blues even if you get like a 140 to flash here? Or is that something you're not interested in? Or
at a 140, I'll take the Blues.
Okay, we're getting close.
It's too far right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, some spots are getting close. I see a minus 148 out there right now. If you're in Canada, you can get it. Reasonable limits as well. Anyways, let's move on to the next game here. Rangers at. Oh, did I skip you?
I wanted to.
Sorry, Alex. My bad. I was infatuated with Canucks radio. Go.
That's okay. I just wanted to add to the goaltending slander here.
Go for it.
And maybe I'm going to start. The running backs don't matter. Maybe I'm going to start a goalies don't matter site pretty soon because I don't care that it's Lankinen. I bet the under in this game still. I watched Lankinen play against Montreal on Saturday. He was fine. I mean, he was fine. It is what it is. I don't think he's terrible. I don't think he's terrible enough to scare me off. At least I know there's a big gap, and the gap is growing between Demko and Lankin, the way Demko's been playing. But with Thomas still out, Neighbors still out, this offense, I know it's a small sample. It's only been a couple games, but like it's been a rough couple games for them offensively. And Quinn Hughes being out for the Canucks, it's been a really rough go for them offensively because of how much he's able to help drive things, how much he does for them on the power play, everything. So yeah, small samples with Hughes out and with those other guys out, but like I'm willing to put stock into what we've seen because I think those guys are significant to both teams and what they're able to generate. So yeah, I know not ideal with the Lankinen start. Kind of saw that coming though because of the fact that Demko has been used sparingly, at least early on. They don't want to kind of overwork him and start him too many games in a row. They want to give him that rest to avoid an injury situation, but kind of expected it and I was fine with it. I still bet this under.
All right. Under is 6. What number do you need for the under on the 6? Like a minus?
There's some minus 115s that are good. I think the minus 120 is okay, and that's the furthest I would go.
All right. Furthest you'll
need a 6 though. Need a 6 with Langton in there.
All right. Sounds good. Let's flip over and talk Rangers and Oilers. Wish we could just call up Albert right now to get his opinion on this game, but we can't. We can't. Well, we just need some fade material for the show.
Yeah. That's fair.
Alex, we'll start with you here. Oilers at home, minus 162 on the money line. Totals at 6. Juice towards the under at FanDuel. Any opinion on this game?
No. Some evidence that the Oilers are starting to figure it out for sure. They're sort of turning it around after that slow start, which we've seen from them countless times now. So I think they're going to be a bit more of a, well, I don't even know if I can say a bet on team going forward, just because of the fact that the market has never really soured on them to begin with. Rangers, I think, obviously talked about how they're better than their record shows. I still kind of like what I've seen from them so far. I think this is kind of fair. Would maybe lean Edmonton just because the Rangers are still really struggling to score, but they're playing well. So I don't really want to, and with Shesterkin's potential ability to kind of steal games, I don't want to really get involved. So nothing for me here.
All right, nothing for you here. So Money, anything in this game?
Yeah, I played the under here. Okay. I like the way that the Rangers are playing, especially defensively. I don't know if they have it in them to put up the offensive numbers that they need to be as successful as I thought they would be. But they're right there defensively. So and the Oilers, as Alex mentioned, and what we've been waiting for, frankly, the last week or so is that they are showing signs of turning it around. I think it's coming. They're better offensively, but they're also better defensively as well. So I think that this is going to be a game where, I just think that the 6 is too high here. So 6 minus 115. I did play this under.
All right, we're looking for a 6 minus 115, which we can find out there at most shops. Just always shop around here. FanDuel, pretty sharper side here at the minus 125 towards the under. 2 more games left before we head out. Smash the like button. Do us a favor. You guys asked for this. You guys are getting it. Just all we ask in return is to get those internet points, get those likes up. It means a lot for us here on the channel. Devils, Sharks, Devils laying minus 225 on the money line on the road. Totals at 6.5. Juice towards the over. Looking at a high scoring game here. So Money, we'll start with you. Anything you like in this game?
So I did play the under with the Sharks and Kings the other night, but I don't think I was that off. I thought that the Sharks, they played as well defensively as I've seen them play, but they just didn't get the goaltending. And that's something that is really, as we've seen the last few years, it's really tough to predict there. I think that on the Devils front, after giving up 8 goals, I think that they'll be more focused defensively as well. The problem is that if this does turn into a wide open game, neither team within the game is incentivized to kind of shut it down. Auto conference game, New Jersey's in San Jose, like fine, you wanna skate, we'll skate, right? So that kind of gets me off of the under. But if we get a plus money on the under 6.5, then that's where that I would be looking.
All right, looking for a plus money. We're close. We're almost there. I don't know if we'll get there though. Alex, you agree with the sentiment, looking towards the under, but need a better price?
Like literally to a T is what I had written down here in my notes. So money, I think just put that out there perfectly. I bet the under when these two teams played on Friday last week, and it was a 3-1 Devils win on the road. A little bit of a different situation, I think, though. That's why I want to one, get a little bit of a better number, and two, I think we will get a better number because that took over money last time they played, and I ended up with not a great price first to close. So I think it's possible that we do see that plus money. So stay tuned here. I do like this under as well if we get there.
All right, keep an eye on this Devils Sharks total, and if you like the under, maybe keep it open, keep that screen open, because you might see a plus money flash on the 6.5. Let's close this out here with the Red Wings taking on the Kings. Alex, I'll let you close this one out. Kings on the money line, -146 at home. Totals at 6. Juice towards the under. Anything you like here in this last game?
No, I keep waiting to see more from the Kings, and we're just not seeing it yet. This is a situation where maybe I am too slow to adjust. There's times where I try and be quick and I try and bet on opinions I have and maybe be a little aggressive on them before the market catches up, like the Nashville situation, stuff like that, where I try and I'm going to take a stance and I'm going to bet on that stance, and we'll see if I'm right. This is one where I believe in LA, but I'm just not. Maybe I should be quicker to adjust to the fact that this just isn't that good of a team anymore based on how they're composed on the back end. And, that's obviously leading to some issues for them up front because they're kind of getting hemmed back a little bit more, which makes it harder for them to generate offense because they're not playing as much on the puck. But I don't know. I still do believe that they're a lot better than they've shown so far. And that's what's keeping me off of this big Detroit number because Detroit has been good. I continue to be impressed by them. I'm not looking to necessarily fade this Detroit start because they continue to show that they are fairly legit for what we've seen from them so far. So two teams I'm just kind of watching a little bit closely right now, and I'm not going to bet this game.
All right, staying off this game for Alex, but likes Detroit. So, you feel the same way? I see you nodding.
I feel the same way, but I did bet Detroit. I think that, I've been high on Detroit coming into the season. I don't like this Kings team. Haven't liked them from the start of the season. A little bit weird with the Kings here because in their 2 wins in St. Louis and Dallas, I didn't think that they looked particularly good. Then they looked better against Nashville and Chicago and got mixed results. Then they didn't look good against San Jose and got that win when San Jose didn't get the goaltending. So it seems like the Kings, when they don't play well, they find a way to get the win. But I think that we're actually stepping up in class. It feels weird to say, but we are stepping up in class playing the Red Wings here. So I think that number's just too high. It's based on preconceived notions of what the Kings were or are, and I just don't think that that's accurate anymore. So I did bet Detroit. I think that the numbers should keep moving, and I like the Wings.
All right, we like the Wings here. We're going to take Detroit here on the money line. It seems like so money. That's where you're leaning, and that wraps up the show for today. Any last thoughts before you guys head out?
Barzal being late for practice and getting benched tonight is a choice. I don't know what the issue was, why he was late. Maybe there's more to it. Either celebrating a Jays win last night, maybe, or he was potentially just stuck in that New York traffic. I don't know, but I thought that was wild when I saw that he was just a little late to the ring tonight, so he will not play. I think there's better ways to handle that than benching your best forward. But what do I know?
So money, anything for you? So money, anything for you?
Jason? No, he's on mute.
Well, you can hear us? All right, there we go. All right.
I can't hear him. Can you hear him? I can't hear him.
We have you on stream.
Well, I will leave with the final thought here. Bet the Jays tomorrow. Toronto, enjoy. It's going to be a fun night. See you guys.
I can't hear him.
Alex, so money. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk soon. All right. Great stuff there. Don't forget to smash the like button. Goes a long way here on the channel. So Money said bet the Jays. I'm a fan of betting the Jays and then fading the Leafs the day after. If the Jays win tomorrow, I feel like that is a correlated parlay that will not be priced in whatsoever, because we know the boys are going to be out and about.
So
and
the Leafs bet. You're saying fade the Leafs if the Jays win?
Yeah, because if they play Saturday, if the Jays win Friday night, what do you think that entire team is doing? They're not going to bed early. They are not. They're celebrating. They're out and they're celebrating.
The Leafs?
Yes.
You think?
Yes.
I don't know.
I did it. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? 2 days ago, I bet the Jays in Game 4, and I bet the Blue Jackets last night in a parlay. It's correlated. It's correlated.
I don't know about that. Let us know in the chat if you think there's a correlation there. I don't know if that exists.
Yeah, well, hashtag not financial advice. That's what I don't know. Jay's first leg, Leafs the next day. If I was them, I'd be celebrating. They also looked. What inspired this was after the Mariners win. That was maybe the worst hockey I've ever seen in my entire life from them.
Maybe the Leafs are just really bad this year.
Yeah, maybe.
Because they're bad every game right now.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe that could be it as well. That could be it as well. It was like plus 400-ish is what I got around. I think 425, like somewhere in that range. Don't have the exact number on me right now. But yeah, anyways, enough jibber jabber for me. Appreciate you guys joining the show. One more time, smash the like button before we head out. I see if you guys, if half you just like it, we have double the likes. It's as simple as that. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button as well. If you're over on Twitter, come over to YouTube, subscribe. We hoped you enjoyed today's show. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed Edgework. We'll see you guys here tomorrow. What do we have on tap for the rest of the day? I believe we have
Big day.
Best Bet Show, Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Austin, Rob, maybe, and Suma will be there. Then the watch along tonight. No Alex, as we predicted. I think we laid minus 110. You laid that. I owe you.
Yep.
So
you owe me a spinach feta wrap from Starbucks.
There we go. Watch along tonight. Myself and George will be live. So yeah, good stuff there. Good stuff there. Tomorrow, Pips is back. Pips is on.
NBA Cup starts. That's a good day to have him.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. George is going to be on as well. Going to be talking through some Survivor, and then Jack Miller will be joining the show, talking through some player props. Got to give him that thank you for that Darnell Washington. Hasn't been on the show since that Darnell Washington call out, but yeah, got to give him his kudos. Maybe we can get another one again this week. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed today's show. This has been the Thursday, October 30th edition of the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by FanDuel. We will be right here. We'll see you guys right here tomorrow.